Even today, the end of the world is absolutely fascinating for everybody. And it's very scary and it's very disturbing because this is where you touch eternity. It also reflects people's fears of their own death, because that's a kind of the end of the world.
Look around. The world is dying.
Hello, my name is Viktor Antonov, a visual director, world builder, worked on many various bigger and smaller projects. I'm working with Eschatology Entertainment, which I'm a co-founder with Fuad Kuliev. And it's a brand new adventure for me. And we're going to bring our first completely undisclosed project.
My name is Fuad Kuliev. I'm a CEO and creative director of Eschatology Entertainment. We are working on our first debut project, which is a first-person Souls-like made in the setting of apocalyptic Western.
Fuad is the father of the project. He came with the conception, and of course, he's the gameplay, what I consider genius and driver, and which is very important for the whole game experience. So we started jamming of like having really crazy monster designs, really crazy environment designs, and something that's outrageous. It was like no big company right now would take these risks. But they worked actually. As soon as we started doing the sketches and the prototypes, we had this like awesome world of crazy monsters and environments. So basically, it's back and forth of brainstorming, and pushing the limits up to the top.
I'm a big adherent of idea that when you're building something new, you need to do it's good in all pieces. All pieces must be coherent. We're building something like a totally new in terms of the gameplay. We find a way how to create a first-person Souls-like. And for that, we need a special world, special setting, and special IP.
Eschatology is the science and the study of the end of the world. I want to say that it's a very universal science. It exists across all religions: Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and all even multi-god religions. So I think it's like really one of the most important questions of humanity that many people other than the scholars are afraid to ask or touch on, because it's, well, apocalyptic. The Western initially is an allegory of empty spaces, sort of like, even great-grandfather of science fiction. And the Western inherited the Orientalist adventure, like Lawrence of Arabia and all the old stories where Europeans went to look for adventure and a surface of sand and nothingness. It creates a big drama.
So we're basically kind of making a story about famous gunslingers of the West, like a Tombstone or a Deadwood, on top of the apocalyptic Souls-like demon-based mythology. So we're basically looking at the, let's call, alternative history. What's happening is Billy the Kid has a high-noon duel with Lucifer. And that is a very defining thing that we are trying to create in terms of the player feeling and like emotion and intensity coming out of our Western.
We've invested with a lot of pleasure, a lot of time in deep research. The history of Texas, the history of the Gulf, Mexico Gulf. And when you do this in depth, you discover miracle stories. So we're based on allegorical resemblances of real places, and we draw inspiration by every detail. Architectural structures, technology, topology, lighting, this is our foundation, plus history, plus weaponry, plus a lot of mechanical elements. And on the top of this, starting to add the weirdness. And the weirdness we have a lot because our mountains go crazy, and we have volcanoes of strange corruption, and everything is twisted and unusual. I don't know if I should mention, but there's a trippy element in the Zhordovsky style.
So we have a big consultancy, a few guys who are on a contract on all the time, and additional advisors that we connect on a different place, because our main principle in terms of the design, every type of design, is that we're taking historical things and we're trying to first corrupt it and put in the apocalyptic setting, and the second point, to use it as a special tool for the game, so it will be felt by us as normal.
The design of all the weapons is very meticulous in sense of reloading, holding it, what part of the gun you see, and every detail matters, both in historical mode and in magic mode. So it's a real mixture of purely visual and aesthetic design and story design, plus function all the time.
The main core of our story in the game is a travel from the west to the east. It's kind of a metaphorical one and both actual one. We have the goal to move our characters through the places of the US in a specific, let's call, order on his path. And during this travel, we want to show him what happened with America after the apocalypse happens, how the world was destroyed around him, and this passage from basically wildlands to the place of the civilization, and see, in the hope that the place of civilization survive more or protect more, would find an answer only at the end.
A very important point, that the player is stuck between his memories and past life. He sees the world with memories of his past or present, and the real world, and his journey through hell. There's a pattern that I've seen in my life, that it's okay to be opportunistic when it comes to creative doors. I saw a message from a person I didn't know. I read the pitch and it struck me right away. So I replied to Fuad right away. Okay, there's mystical, epic, Western, apocalypse, Souls-like. So yeah, these are all the things that I did not do in my career so far. So again, I like opportunities. So it's like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.